Welcome to All Things Food Podcast. This is Peter Kim. I am Peter Kim. Welcome to the show. Today's episode, the best cheeseburger in Chicago, Paradise Pup. Let's talk about this. I just finished a mini rant about Korean food, so I'm kind of in a bad mood. I brought myself into a bad mood. I made myself feel worse. So by doing this episode, I am going to make myself feel better by talking about cheeseburgers, which is lovely. It's great. Oh gosh, I had to get that off my chest though. I just talked about why there's no good Korean food, why there's no good ramen in Chicago. But no, let's talk about something happy. Cheeseburger style. Okay. The best cheeseburger in Chicago, Paradise Pup. Now, first of all, Paradise Pup is not literally in Chicago. What is it's Des Plaines or Niles? Not Niles. It is in Des Plaines. Yes, it is in Des Plaines. I was last there. Thank you, Google. You freaked me out. I visited there 3 months ago. Gosh, that's so kind of freaky that it knows that. Oh, God. Okay. Thank you, Google. You know my eating habits. I was there 3 months ago. The best cheeseburger in Chicago. I just burped. Excuse me. That was disgusting. So, burgers, I have a deep affection for. It's I would say definitely top 10 in my favorite foods. Not top 3, but it's up there. I care enough about burgers in general that I went on a burger crawl specifically. Gosh, now this is actually a long time ago, like 10 years ago. And this is like even before I started doing photos or videos about food. But just needless to say, I am pretty serious about it. Let's just get this out of the way. Where have I been? What have I tried? If I'm going to say this is the best cheeseburger, caveat as always, this is my own opinion based on my own experiences. That's all that I can do is form my opinions based on my personal knowledge and experiences. And you have your own different knowledge and experiences and memories of cheeseburgers and food in general. So feel free to disagree with me. But in my humble opinion, the best cheeseburger in Chicago is located in Des Plaines, Illinois, by the name of Paradise Pup. So I've been to Kumas Corner. I've been to Small Cheval. I've never been to Old Cheval, just because of the lines. I don't know. So I guess maybe I don't love it that much. But I've been to a whole bunch of other places. I've been to, now this is a long time ago. But I don't think you need to, for a burger. Now a burger is interesting because a burger doesn't have to be like, a burger has a wide latitude to be a delicious burger. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go to a Michelin rated burger place or, a fancy pants, white tablecloth place to get a good burger. A good burger can be found in so many places. This ramen package is from another episode. Let me get this out of the way. Fixed. I just noticed it bothered me. So a good burger can be found anywhere. That's the cool thing about cheeseburgers, right? I feel like there's a lot of other foods where, some food has to be prepped in a certain way that takes a certain amount of either equipment or skill or whatever, or time, that it just makes it prohibitive to make a good version of it so that just a few people can make it. A good burger, no. I mean, you can have an amazing burger grilled in your backyard, right? Like, that's the beauty of a good cheeseburger. Just check my audio recorder here. Okay, good. So what makes a good cheeseburger? First of all, before I talk about Paradise Pup, and by me describing what makes a good cheeseburger, this will explain why Paradise Pup is the best. Let me get rid of 3 misconceptions first before I go into what makes a good cheeseburger. 3 misconceptions that people think, oh, it has to be this for it to be a good cheeseburger. First, it has to have the most ingredients. This is very common among just burgers in general and including cheeseburgers. A lot of people think that the more ingredients you add to a burger, the better it gets. That's usually not the case. Think about it like pizza, right? Pizza, usually the simpler pizzas are going to be the best tasting. If you add sausage and onions and peppers and mushrooms and pepperoncinis and ham and pineapple and barbecue sauce and chicken and artichokes and sardines, it's probably not going to be the greatest pizza you'll ever have. For example, my favorite type of pizza is a simple margarita pizza. It's basil, mozzarella, and some tomato sauce, and that's it. Similar to a cheeseburger. A cheeseburger does not have to have the most ingredients. In fact, the more ingredients you add, the farther away you get from the spirit of a good cheeseburger. A cheeseburger is simple. It's straightforward and delicious. That's my understanding of what a good cheeseburger is. First misconception that's wrong, it has to have the most ingredients. It doesn't have to have the most ingredients. It could be very simple, which I will explain. Number 2, the second misconception is that it has to have the best quality ingredients. Now, I know that this might be a little more controversial, but some people might say, oh, well, to make the best cheeseburger, you have to have, aged Gruyere cheese, on top of Kobe beef, ground beef mixture with the finest, organically, ethically raised, blah, 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 to make the best cheeseburger. No. That's not true, because a cheeseburger is a common man's food. I'm sure there's some $200 Kobe beef cheeseburger out there that's amazing and delicious, and probably technically the most delicious cheeseburger on the planet. With foie gras on top, and then you have some like special cheese that was raised by monks or something on a mountain. But that's getting away from the spirit of a cheeseburger. A cheeseburger is simple, it's delicious, and it's for the everyman. It's for the common man. It is supposed to be, by definition, it is almost like, by definition, just a burger with cheese, right? So when I see restaurants advertising or, people gushing about a cheeseburger that has the finest of ingredients, I think it's nice, but it doesn't convince me that, I have to have this cheeseburger. A lot of places, they get twisted, okay? Last misconception I've already mentioned, kind of, is it has to be healthy. That's not true. It's a fucking cheeseburger, man. Like, if you want to be healthy, go eat a salad. It's a fucking cheeseburger. You're eating it because it's going to be delicious, not because it's good for you. Like, are you, like, what, like, are we talking about the same thing here, right? It's a cheeseburger, man. It's a cheeseburger. It's not supposed to be healthy. Oh, it's not good for me. Yeah, that's kind of the point of a cheeseburger. A cheeseburger is supposed to be delicious and tasty, and fatty and salty and everything else, right? I don't understand. Like, it has to be healthy. It has to be healthy. Like, seriously? It's a cheeseburger, man. I don't know. I just that boggles my mind. Like, yeah, it's not healthy. If you want it to be healthy, then seriously, go eat some canned tuna or something. Which I just ordered a whole bunch of canned tuna. It's great, but you don't eat a cheeseburger to be healthy. I think about, like if you think, what's the best cheeseburger in New York? You think Shake Shack. What's the best cheeseburger in LA or West Coast? Oh, In-N-Out. Those are fine. Those are big chains. We have Shake Shack in Chicago now. Shake Shack's in Korea. I think it's the highest grossing Shake Shack in the world is in Korea. I'm just talking about like a hole-in-the-wall place that you cannot find anywhere else in Chicago, and that is Paradise Pup. Okay, so I'm going to go over the 4 things that are good about it, and then the not so good. which is very minimal. But it doesn't have the most ingredients. Very simple. Okay, it has a bun, patty, of course, onions, and cheese. Maybe they throw some mayo on the bun. I'm not sure. But basically 4 major ingredients, okay? It doesn't have the best quality ingredients. Their cheese is Merck's cheddar spread. This is a very cheap cheese spread. It's not even like slices of cheese, but it's delicious. And it is certainly not healthy. You know that from the packaging. When you get your grease-saddled little packet of meat and bread and cheese, you know it's not healthy. When you eat it, the grease just dribbles down your throat. You know it's not healthy, but it is delicious. All right, so Paradise Pup, you need to go there. This is how much of a baller they are. They're only open like 6 hours a day, not even every day of the week. Let's see, what are their hours? Let's take a look. Now, just as a side note, recently I saw that Paradise Pup had closed unexpectedly, and then I saw later on that it had reopened, and I hope it's still open. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Where you at? There's Pequod's, Dempster, Paradise Pup. There you go. Is it still open? I hope it's open. Yeah, it's open. It's open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. 6 hours a day. And they're closed on Sundays. That's baller. That is baller. Okay? Just Google it for photos. I mean, I shot some video in the summer when I went there last 3 months ago. Thank you, Google. And it was delicious, of course. But, you know, for images, just take a look. Maybe I will make that video and throw it up on my YouTube channel, All Things Food Podcast. All right, so the good. Why is Paradise Pup the best cheeseburger? Now, I have made different ranking systems in the past, you know, decor and, you know, quality of the bun, the quality of the patty, and so on and so forth. But quite frankly, I don't know where that system is, and also I've inconsistently applied it, and it's been so long since I've even done those rankings that they no longer really are relevant, I think. So I'm just going to go over why I think that Paradise Pup is the best cheeseburger in Chicago. Number one thing, and I've kind of alluded to this before, it knows what it is. It knows what it is. Paradise Pup knows that they are a cheeseburger joint, and they don't pretend to be something else. They serve cheeseburgers, and they serve burgers. I think they serve hot dogs as well, but you don't go to Paradise Pup to get a fucking hot dog. You go to Paradise Pup to get a burger or cheeseburger, but really, you go there to get a cheeseburger. It knows what it is. It doesn't pretend to be something that it's not. They serve delicious, cheap cheeseburgers. They're really not expensive. I think they're like $3.50 for a burger. They're not huge, but they are so filling because they are so heavy and greasy and fatty and all the other good stuff. Okay? It knows what it is. It's not pretentious at all. It's just they're a cheeseburger joint, and they make cheeseburgers. Number 2, char perfection. Oh yes, they get the color on their patties. They know how to cook a patty. They do cook it on a grill. Naturally, I'll be a fan of, like, you know, Whopper style, you know, like backyard grilling, flame broiled patties. But this, oddly enough, they don't have that. They cook their patties on a grill, but they get a nice char in them. They get just a nice little crust. You need the crust. If a burger patty does not have a crust on it, something went wrong. You need that, you know, what's it called? The Maillard reaction to get the caramelization on the patty. You need that for like a really good burger. Because if it's not there, then you just have like a lump of meat, of cooked meat. It's char perfection. Get a nice little crust. Get a little, chew on that. A little sensory feedback. You know what I'm saying? Another reason why it's so good is the cheddar spread is perfect. The cheddar spread is perfect. They use Merck's cheddar. I think they were one of the first places to use Merck's in like everyday items. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but from my memory and from what I remember my older brother recently told me, but it makes sense. It was one of the first places. But anyway, they use Merck's with the patty and the bun. It's perfect. The thing about using just regular cheese, not that I would be opposed to using like regular slices of cheese. I actually love slices of cheese. I can eat it all day. But the cheddar spread, it gets the flavor everywhere, if that makes any sense. The Merck's cheddar spread just gushes oil and fat, melds in with the patty, with the beef patty. Sorry, not the bread. The cheddar spread works perfectly with the meat. Last thing reason why it's so good is that the charred onions, they grill their onions, and then you throw the onions in there, and it just kind of mixes in with the cheese to get this very savory, crusty, charred depth. Multiple layers of char from the meat, from the onions. Got a lot of fat and, I guess umami does apply here, doesn't it? Because cheese has umami. It's just so freaking savory when you combine them all. And that's like the most important thing is they all work together. They all work together to create this powerful, perfect bite after bite after bite after bite. The problem with a lot of cheeseburgers is that they might use the best quality beef. They might use amazing cheese. And like individually, the ingredients might be impressive. But then when you combine them all together, they fight for attention or they just don't work together. Like they might be so good, like, oh, I noticed this flavor. Oh, I noticed this flavor. Oh, I noticed this flavor. And you don't really get a full, comprehensive, holistic experience of a cheeseburger. That's one pitfall. Or they just fight against each other and it just doesn't work and it's not a cohesive dish. That's one of the pitfalls of, what was it called? Kumas Corner. Kumas Corner, I remember I went there, and this is a while ago. This is like 10 years ago. But I went there and, they have all these funky sounding fun names, like, death metal, something, and all these other types of burgers. But when you eat it as a burger, a lot of them don't harmonize together. It's an example of trying to be something that you're not. A cheeseburger is just meant to be simple and delicious. When you add this, and you add 15 ingredients, then you lose the identity of the cheeseburger. So Paradise Pup, they keep it really simple, really delicious, really flavorful. It knows what it is, and it delivers. They're not so good about Paradise Pup. Parking can suck. If it's a very small place, inside can hold, I think, maybe like 8 or 10 people at one time. And I think that's like pushing it. I'm like trying to remember the last time I was there, and like it was pretty packed. Parking can suck. I actually had to park in the neighborhood, like walked a block away because just for whatever reason the parking lot was full that day. And there's like a business right there too, so I didn't want to get into their parking lot, so I parked around the corner, did a little short walk. On a bright sunny day, not a big deal, but during the winter time, or you just don't want to walk, you want to just park right at the restaurant, then it's going to suck. It is primarily outside seating. That's another not so good thing. There are like 2 or 3 tables, and then there's like maybe 4 seats inside at the counter, and that's pretty much it. And so they go by volume. A lot of people are coming in and out. It's a quick bite. If you are spending more than 30 minutes, then either you're eating a lot or you're like having a heart attack or something. So it's primarily outside seating. So right now it's winter. It's not the greatest time to go there. But that's with parking and the seating, that's part of the charm, is that it knows what it is. It's a small place that is an institution for people who grew up in the northern burbs. And I've had plenty of cheeseburgers in the city. Nothing beats Paradise Pup. Go check it out. I hope they're not like shut down by the police or something. I don't know what happened. I think they're still open. I will say this: whenever I'm in the area, I am always thinking, "Shoot, is this a day for Paradise Pup? Do I have the time? What is my meal for today? My big meal." It's on my radar every time I'm in the area. Within like a 10-minute drive, I'm thinking, "Shoot, do I have time to go to Paradise Pup? I'm not sure. Like, we'll see." So, Paradise Pup, go for it. Thank you for listening to my random thoughts, not so random thoughts about Paradise Pup. Thank you for listening and watching. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, I would love to hear from you. You can find me on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Email me at allthingsfoodpodcast at gmail.com, allthingsfoodpodcast@gmail.com. I am on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at PeterBBKim. That is my tag, and you can visit me on my website at peterbkim.com. Until next time, stay hungry.